Can we talk about Pete Crow Armstrong, please? Oh my God, this guy is absolutely insane. Pete Crow Armstrong is the best center fielder in baseball right now. And there's a certain someone who plays for my Red Sox that is making a pretty decent case, but nothing compared to what this guy's doing. I'll talk about Cedar Rafaela at some point in the near future. But going into the second half of the season, after watching in my opinion, a very fun All Star break, an All Star game, going into the All Star break. Watching the Home Run Derby, that was a whole lot of fun, and watching the All Star game has been a whole lot of fun. And the Cubs have been one of my favorite teams to keep an eye on this year. It was one of those things going into the season where they traded for someone like Kyle Tucker, pretty much being a 1-year rental at the moment. Cubs have been just absolutely fascinating. They have been hitting on all cylinders. Their pitching's good. Their offense has been something that's been carrying them. Like guys like Seiya Suzuki, who was an all-star snub in my opinion. Kyle Tucker has been awesome. PCA, Pete Crow Armstrong, has been undisputably the best center fielder in the National League this year. And I really just wanted to talk about him and kind of highlight him specifically, but also kind of talk about the Cubs a little bit. But the fact that the Cubs have just been such a fun team to follow, and it's such an easy team to root for. One of my favorite teams to watch outside of my Red Sox, of course. For someone in his third season in Major League Baseball, dude's a 23-year-old phenom. He is going into his second full season in MLB. And he has been everything the Cubs could have asked of him and more. There's not enough things to say about Pete Crow Armstrong to describe him. The dude is just an awesome, awesome baseball player. So let's dive into it. Let's talk about the Cubs. The Cubs going into the All-Star break have just been on another level, especially in that NL Central. They are obviously leading the division at 57-39, and Pete Crow Armstrong has definitely been a big part of that, and so much so to the point that he could have a case for being MVP. And how crazy that sounds, let's just talk about the kind of season he's having. And I understand Shohei Ohtani is inevitable. He is the best player in MLB right now, in my opinion. And I think it's an opinion a lot of people will agree with, of course. But let's go over the stats for Pete Crow Armstrong. Obviously, for people who don't know or people who weren't watching the All-Star game, Pete Crow Armstrong was the highlight of the Javier Baez trade that sent Javier Baez from the Cubs to the Mets. So someone like Pete Crow Armstrong would be playing for the Mets right about now, who are in need for, a center fielder. And really a nice sight to see Javier Baez and him being in the All-Star game. But Pete Crow Armstrong, again, he got called up to the majors in 2023. Didn't really do much. He played 13 games, so it was just a cup of coffee, nothing too crazy. His first full season was in 2024, played 123 games. He had 10 homers, 47 RBIs, 237 batting average. The rookie numbers, nothing that jumps off the page. He stole 27 bases. The thing that you understood right away about PCA is that he was a tremendous defensive center fielder, and that's what a lot of people expected him to be. He was just a really good athletic center fielder, and if he got anything going with the bat, it was going to be a plus. But this year he puts it all together with the bat. Going into the first half of the season, he was batting 265 with a on-base percentage of 302 and a slugging percentage of 544, and that gives him an OPS of 847 and an OPS plus of 140, which means he's 40 points better than league average. He currently leads the league in wins above replacement. With 25 home runs, 71 RBIs, and 27 stolen bases, he's also been the fourth fastest player ever to reach 25 home runs and 25 stolen bases, and doing so in just 92 games. If he maintains this pace, he's going to be the second player ever to hit 50-50. Now, do I think he's going to hit 50 home runs? He would have to go on a pretty incredible run to eclipse the 50 home run mark. I think he can easily surpass 50 stolen bases. I think it's just more the power department. For someone like Pete Crow Armstrong, do I think he's going to have 25 home runs pre-All-Star game for the rest of his career? I don't think that's going to be his game, but I mean, I'll be plenty surprised, because this guy has been an absolute monster against right-handed pitching. Left-handed pitching, obviously he's still very young. He's going to figure it out. But obviously having the guys around him, like I've named earlier, you have someone like Dansby Swanson, you have Seiya Suzuki, Kyle Tucker I just mentioned, and especially if they sign into an extension. There's going to be so many great bats around him to allow him to learn and grow and have more protection in the lineup around him to continue to mash baseballs. I feel like he's the modern day superstar. Like that type of archetype of player is, especially right now, he's a true 5-tool guy. He can hit for power. He has a tremendous glove in the outfield. He has a tremendous arm. He can run. You look at guys like him, Bobby Witt Jr., see guys like Fernando Tatis, like these guys, Ronald Acuna, to a lesser degree in terms of like the defensive side. But guys like Pete Crow Armstrong are going to be the future of Major League Baseball. Guys who can do absolutely everything on the field. Guys who are in those commanding positions like shortstop or center field. Guys like Pete Crow Armstrong, you're going to see plenty more over the next 20 years. Because the idea of baseball, there's going to be room for guys like James Wood who are just mashing baseballs, and guys like, Jaron Duran who are fantastic base runners, the guys that are getting on base and so on and so forth. The perfect baseball player is going to be someone like Pete Crow Armstrong who can do literally everything on the field. But it's not to say he's not without his flaws. He's more of a free swinger. He's very aggressive at the plate. But with the numbers he's posting up, I don't think anybody in the Cubs organization cares. I don't think he cares. It's until it kind of hits a slide, that's when it starts getting concerning. But the way he's been playing, it's absolutely a non-factor. Like, this guy has been mashing for the Cubs, and the Cubs are putting themselves in a great position to really be a World Series threat going into the latter half of the season. They lost Justin Steele, so you would expect them to be looking at a starting pitcher, maybe someone like Sandy Alcantara, or just somebody that fits that mold in the pitching market to give them another high-end starter. I honestly think PCA can have a real shot at winning the MVP. Only person that's going to get in his way, especially if he continues to play like this, is Shohei Ohtani. And obviously, if Shohei is pitching at an elite level, especially going into the second half of the year, on top of what he's already been able to do with the bat, I think the award is going to be his, no doubt about it. I'm not trying to say that Pete Crow Armstrong should win it. I'm not expecting him to win it, but I think he has built a case to be able to do so, especially with the first half he put up and what you would want to expect from him in the second half. Imagine he even gets to 40 home runs. He gets 15 home runs in the second half, or even into the 30s, and he's a 30-30 guy. The case for PCA to become the National League MVP, it goes into some of the stats like wins above replacement. He has a higher wins above replacement than Shohei because obviously how great he is with the glove, while Shohei is providing extra value as a starting pitcher, as well as being an elite offensive menace for the LA Dodgers. Something I feel that would be very notable is if the Cubs finish with a better record than the Dodgers. Are kind of neck and neck with each other. Odds are those are both going to be your division leaders or your division winners. PCA led the league in WAR at the end of the year. The Cubs win their division, and PCA goes on an absolute tear in the second half, whether he's hit like 32 home runs and finishes with 50 plus stolen bases. I strongly believe that PCA could win the MVP. But again, Ohtani exists. He is putting up another tremendous season. And I think a lot of people are kind of scoffing at the idea that PCA could realistically win the MVP based on the merit that he's probably not going to be able to keep up what he's doing in the second half. And obviously, I think that's the most important thing, because if he has kind of a lackluster second half, that's going to immediately put a dent in the water. More or less just playing around with the idea that it could happen. But you guys let me know what you guys think. Do you think there is a world where Pete Crow Armstrong can win the National League MVP over someone like Shohei Ohtani? And again, I'm not comparing them as players. I feel like they are two very different players. But what Pete Crow Armstrong provides to the Cubs is nothing short of spectacular, especially for a Cubs team that has World Series aspirations. They wouldn't have traded for someone like Kyle Tucker if they didn't. I think someone like PCA is very fun for the game of baseball. He's just such a joy to watch, especially out there in Wrigley. And you would expect that this guy is going to be a catalyst for the Chicago Cubs team for years and years to come. Is an absolute superstar in every sense of the word. But you guys let me know what you think. How do you guys feel about Pete Crow Armstrong's rise over the course of the 2025 season? Let me know what you guys think down below. Make sure you guys show your support by liking the video, subscribing. If you guys do enjoy the stuff you see here, be sure to go check out VideoSportsMedia.com to stay up to date with all your favorite sports as well as gaming. The second half of the MLB season's here. You got the NBA season coming up with Summer League already going on. Training camp for football is going to be starting up in a few weeks. And there's going to be a lot of stuff going on around here, so you guys don't want to miss it. Be sure you guys show your support here at Vendetta Media. But with all that being said, guys, that's going to do it for me, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.